Hey, Retcon Raider here, and welcome back to episode 36 of my ongoing Battle Brothers series. Last time, the Raiders tragically lost Casimir the Glorious during our first skirmish with an actual greenskin horde. So this time, we're immediately starting off by moving in to avenge Casimir's death, as we take out this orc stronghold that the greenskin horde seemed intent on defending. Now, we fought Orc Young and Orc Berserkers before, so I'm not anticipating any issues here. But then again, I didn't anticipate Casimir's death either, so I guess you never know. If Battle Brothers has taught me anything, it's that I should never let my guard down, even during a seemingly simple fight. Case in point, that Orc Berserker with a Man-Splitter there could easily end up killing one of our brothers in a single swing. So he's our definite priority target as long as we've got an open shot on him. Looks like we're dealing with a total of 3 Berserkers and 7 Orc Young. All things considered, that should make for a simple battle. Should. Let's bring the archers up, and Alessandro lands our first hit, then puts a second arrow through the Berserker's neck. That's definitely a nice start, and Washtec finishes him off. That refills his AP bar, so let's choose another target here. There's another decent hit. Fox is up next. And we'll continue focusing on the same target. Well, he's broken and injured, but dropping him will reduce the morale of other adjacent orcs, so we're definitely going to finish him off when we get the chance. Though that unarmored berserker on our north side is now our new priority target. He's wielding, what is that, a head choppa? It's a custom orc weapon, so we don't want it being used against us. Woe steps up and plunges a jagged pike through his face. That'll slow him down a little. Alessandro's up, so he starts our barrage on the berserker. Puts another arrow through his neck. Aside from killing Geists, apparently Alessandro has a penchant for shooting people in the neck. A bit disturbing, but definitely useful in battle. Fox is up, so let's just fire straight through our ranks here. He doles out a piercing side injury. We've got 2 brothers stunned at the moment. Looks like it's Oswald and Janos. And now also Rondis. But at least some of our frontliners should get the chance to fight back, so nothing to worry about. Reinhard will step up to engage this berserker. A risky move, but we've knocked all his armor off, so hopefully we should be able to drop him fairly quickly. 2 decent hits, but no serious damage. I got just draws his axe. Pushes an orc to the brink of death with a broken leg. The rest of our brothers continue to push back against the orc line. Sergeant Baggins pierces an orc's leg with the banner. Woe is in a slight amount of peril. But apparently we had nothing to worry about, because Fox fells the orc that was threatening him, as well as the orc that was standing next to him. Oswald drops the next orc down the line. We're actually clearing our line rather methodically here. Let's see if Bunny can keep it up. Well, she lands 2 solid hits, but nothing fatal. Wajtek readies his war bow. Fires through the lines and drops a wounded orc. And the orc next to him. That one orc who got spared during our conga line of death is now officially broken. But Alessandro will go ahead and take a shot or 2 at him. And he's down as well. That leaves us with just 2 foes left on the field. We've got this berserker up top who actually just doled out serious damage to Reinhardt's legendary shield. We're going to want to put a stop to that. Let's start moving all unengaged brothers up to swarm the berserker. Though I guess it's a false alarm, Reinhard just shattered his morale. So now really it's just clean up. Rondus moves in, finishes off the last orc young, and now everyone's free to engage the berserker. Janos steps in, doles out a light injury. Our archers start maneuvering a bit closer. Our archers are pretty much done for the battle, so now it's just a matter of seeing which melee fighter gets the honor of final kill. Actually, Fox can sneak a shot in there. And being the greedy kill stealer that he is, he finishes the battle for us. No level ups, but it looks like Fox ties with Wojtek for MVP. And the loot's pretty lackluster, but we'll get maybe 600 gold for all of this. Oh, actually, we're pretty much topped up on inventory, so I'll take care of the usual inventory shuffling off screen real quick. Cleaning your blade, a voice pipes in from a collapsed orcish tent. "Good sirs, you've done it!" You watch as a grinning man emerges. "You've freed me, and I'd like to repay that service you've done by offering my hand." He holds his hand out, pauses, then takes it back. "I mean to fight for you. I'd like to fight for you, sir. If you can do all this, then surely I'd be in good company, right?" An interesting offer. You toss him a weapon and he catches it with ease. He twists the handle about, twirling it hand over hand before trying to sheath it in an invisible scabbard. "The name's Hildebert." Well, I certainly wasn't expecting this, but we do have 2 more slots, so let's go ahead and welcome him aboard and see what he's got to offer. Well, he's level 4, so that's a plus. He's got the sellsword background. That means there are no real special events for him, other than demanding higher pay on occasion. And he's got the drunkard trait. Definitely not good for his hit chances, but the plus 10% damage isn't bad. It almost balances out. Fortunately, his starting attributes are pretty solid, though the 3 stars in marksmanship are kind of wasted on a drunkard. But I think he makes up for it with 3 stars in stamina. With that kind of fatigue potential, he could definitely make a pretty sturdy frontline battle brother. Overall, he's not bad. I mean, his star placement could certainly be better, but I'm not going to turn down a free level 4 mercenary. So welcome aboard, Hildebrandt. We'll just have to figure out your real name once you've sobered up a little. Welcome back. We haven't returned to Neufarn to pick up our pay, but that's because after finishing off that orc stronghold, I spotted tracks leading us to this small band of brigands. They just got finished taking out a group of goblin skirmishers, so I figured they're easy pickings. This is a good chance to break in our new mercenary and pick up a small amount of additional loot. But because they just finished a battle, it started us on the south side of the battlefield. That's a little awkward, but not too much of a problem. It'll just take us an extra couple of rounds to get within striking range. Since it's going to take us a couple of rounds to get within shooting range, I guess this is a good time to go over some of the basic changes in our lineup. Hildebrandt is actually Eraton the Merciless, our newest battle brother who will theoretically be a good addition to the team if a somewhat unpredictable and occasionally unreliable one. You'll also notice that Reinhard the Survivor is sporting a new helmet. I've been sitting on this helmet for a while now because I was worried it would make it too easy to confuse him for Rondus the Elk Lord. But then I realized that it's actually slightly different. Reinhard's helmet is actually a combination of Janos' faceplate plus the horns from Rondus' helmet. I'll admit it is still pretty similar, and I might occasionally end up getting them confused with each other on the battlefield. But I think it's more important to... Oh, there we go. I think it's more important to make sure that our corner guard, in this case Reinhard, has solid protection for his head. Doesn't look like most of my archers are going to be able to get off a good shot here. Not this round, anyway. I'm actually not sure if the rainy conditions reduce our chance to hit, but for now let's just focus on getting our guys into a proper battle line. It's probably a safe bet that now that the Brigands can actually see us, the Brigand Raiders will make a beeline right for us, while their marksmen hang back and try to take shots at our lowest defense characters, which unfortunately is likely to be Eraton since he's only level 4. But he's got to get used to it at some point. I think that was actually a shot at Janos. There we go, that's more what I was expecting. There goes a big chunk of Eraton's armor. We'll have to make sure we set him on shield wall as soon as his turn comes back up. Okay, we've got 4 Brigand Raiders moving right towards us, and 3 Brigand Marksmen hanging back. We've also got 2 Brigands hiding in the fog of war, but I'm not too worried about them at the moment. Let's go ahead and start taking pot shots. It looks like they've left 2 of their marksmen pretty open to attacks. And Fox immediately doles out a chest wound and then finishes off the crossbowman with a second shot. And then he puts a third arrow into the side of one of the other marksmen. Okay, so we do have that one marksman on elevated terrain. We'll have to keep an eye on him. He's actually positioned himself in a spot where we can't return fire unless we move closer. But this one, he's left himself exposed right on their front line. And now he's dead. Mark takes a couple of shots at... Oh, and he's dead too. Good work, Mark. Well, we're definitely making short work of these guys. The closest Brigand Raider is already broken, and 3 of the other Brigands are already dead. The trickiest thing here is probably going to be closing in on those marksmen before they can inflict any serious injuries on some of our more lightly armored men. Let's see if we can knock this last raider out of our way, while still covering most of our archers. There we go. It's not the most elegant formation, but it should suffice at least for a round or 2. Alright, archers, you're up. Let's see if we can drop some more of these guys. Bunny's not off to a good start. Let's see what Fox can do. He lands 1 solid hit. And now Potato's up. And 1 more decent hit. Henry Baggins impales the fleeing brigand's hand. Vlad finishes him off. Now our frontliners are free to begin advancing again. Oswald moves up and finishes off the twice-shot raider. Let's go ahead and bring Reinhard up as well. Well, his odds of hitting were pretty low anyway, so I guess that was to be expected. Now, Casarin the Aegis will move in, pinning down the freshly broken raider, before efficiently doling out a sucking chest wound. Eraton will start moving up, using the other brothers as cover. Janos will start circling on the other side. I see that One of their marksmen is broken now, too. I'm not sure if anyone will be able to pin him down fast enough, so he might actually get away. Actually, it looks like both of their marksmen are running away now. I guess we've finally killed enough of them that they've officially given up the fight. Well, let's see if our archers can land any parting shots. Fox puts an arrow through that marksman's hand. Vlad Kapesh finishes off one of the last raiders. And unfortunately, none of the other archers managed to land a hit. This guy is annoyingly resilient. You know what, let's just have Cassirin break away and pin down that fleeing marksman. And Oswald will move up and pin down the other marksman. And then kill him, too. I guess that works. Eraton finally engages the broken raider, but misses his shot. Reinhard steps in, finishes him off with a well-placed flail. And the rest of the raiders all move to swarm the final brigand. Looks like the marksman's decided to go down fighting. He just pulled out a bludgeon and took a swing at Casorin. And speaking of Casorin, there's one hit, two hits, and down goes the marksman. No level ups, and MVP is a tie between Vlad Kapesh and Oswald the Reaver. Nicely done. Once again, we're very low on inventory space, so I'll take a moment to pick out the nicest pieces of loot, and then we'll head back to Neufarn. And welcome back again. We got back to Neufarn, we collected our pay, and now we're taking on another contract. Peasants have come to Edmund the Guildmaster's abode. They're carrying armfuls of belongings, a litter of it trailing behind their every step. So urgent to flee, they don't even bother picking up any of it. Edmund the Guildmaster himself sees you through one of his windows and waves you to come in through the side door. When you sneak in, he simply plops down in his chair and pours you a drink. Greenskins are coming, and I don't believe there are enough men on hand to defend Neufarn. Obviously, I'm willing to call on and pay for your services to help keep Neufarn safe from this green menace. Well, this is a 3-skull contract, but he is also offering a pretty hefty stack of gold, so I think we'll take our chances. Worst case scenario, we'll cut and run, and Neufarn will have to deal with it on their own. Looks like we get a small band of militiamen to assist us. So we'll go ahead and have them accompany us, I think. We don't know what we're up against, so we could use some decoys. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, I mean, fire support. We could use some fire support. So let's go ahead and have them fall in under my command. And we'll have them arm themselves with bows. They probably won't be able to land any hits, but that's fine. I can still find some unconventional uses for them. And now we wait. Let's go ahead and make sure the men are ready. In fact, let's go ahead and switch off to military picks now, since we're probably going to end up dealing with armored orcs. Nothing yet. Oh, right, I forgot to put it on fast forward. There we go. The greenskins are in sight. Prepare for battle. Well, where are they? Let's get it back on fast forward. See, oh, there they are. Looks like a group of goblin raiders, ambushers and skirmishers, huh? I was actually anticipating orcs, so that means we're going to have to swap some things out here. Unfortunately, Eraton and Belfontaine are definitely not ready for a big fight against goblins, so we'll need to swap them out for some more experienced battle brothers. Let's go ahead and bring in Roderick or Orc Mortar. And I got this. Now let's get over there before these goblins cause any serious damage. That's a lot of goblins. Let's see if they manage to land any lucky hits here. They've already dinged Roderick. Twice, actually. I guess they're focusing fire on him. There's a third hit on him, too, and that one actually managed to poison him. He's lost about a third of his health, so I'll have to be a little careful with him. But he should be fine once he gets locked in close combat with the skirmishers. Speaking of whom, it looks like most of them are beelining for our north line. Oh, probably because they want to take out those lightly armored militiamen. Well, I guess that means the militiamen are already doing their job. They're just here to distract the enemies. Negligible chance to hit the ambushers, so let's focus on the skirmishers for now. And Alessandro drops one right off the bat. Nicely done. Logitech might actually hit one of these guys. But he doesn't. Now the militiamen are up. I guess we might as well take shots, but I doubt they're going to hit anything. Yeah, that seems about right. Potato manages to puncture the lung on one of the goblin skirmishers. Oh no, Hubert, what are you doing? You're a madman. Don't stand out in front of everyone else. Ooh, nice. Mark manages to land a one-hit kill on the goblin pikeman. I think we're going to go ahead and move up to engage those skirmishers. But we'll have to leave a couple of people behind to provide cover for the archers. Kasorin will start beelining for their ambushers, see if he can scare some of them off. And Rondus will accompany him. Janos will of course wade into the thick of things, engaging 3 skirmishers at once. Woe will step up and fire off a shot, but no contact. And Sergeant Baggins will step up, set aside the banner, and ready his shield. Those ambushers are still going for Roderick. They really don't like him for some reason. Hubert just took a shot. It's fine, Hubert. Walk it off. Here come the nets. Reinhard's been incapacitated. You're fine, Hubert. Walk it off. Hubert's being a drama queen. With those nets reducing our defense, some of our guys are taking some light armor hits, but otherwise we're doing okay so far. Oh, nice. Wojtek drops our first ambusher. Well done. And he finishes off another ambusher with his second shot. Wow. Well, Wojtek just set the bar pretty high for the rest of the guys. Sigmar, go ahead and check on Hubert, see what his problem is. And while he's doing that, his buddies could go ahead and keep pointlessly firing arrows into the goblin horde. Hey, no hits. What a surprise. Woe is up, so let's pick out a good target. And he drops an injured skirmisher, before doling out a piercing chest wound to another. Sadly, he doesn't quite make the hat trick. Let's go ahead and start moving IGOT up. Actually, I guess he'd better stay where he is. As long as we've got the archers here, I can't afford to leave them exposed. Casimir doles out some broken fingers. You know, I really should have swapped our guys out to spears once I saw we were dealing with goblins. That would make this fight a lot easier. Now let's see if we can do something about these nets. Reinhardt's still stuck, but Rondus manages to tear free, as does Janos. There's not much else we can do this turn, so let's push forward to round 3. Looks like Sigmar the militiaman just got mowed down. It's unfortunate, but relatively unavoidable in the grand scheme of things. Look, I'll level with you. I do feel a little bad doing that, but I'd much rather lose a militiaman than one of our actual brothers. Let's see if we can pick off another one of these ambushers. A crushed windpipe. That's a nice crippling blow. And Alessandro finishes him off. We're doing halfway decently. No serious injuries. Roderick's looking a little worse for wear. We've lost 2 militiamen, but otherwise it looks like we're probably going to win this fight. I see at least 2 goblins with broken morale, and another one who's pretty close. Of course, the tricky part about these town defense contracts is that we're going to end up having to face another wave. So we won't actually know how all this wraps up until next Monday. There we go. Kazarin takes out a goblin skirmisher, then quickly moves up to lock down 2 of the ambushers. That should finally get rid of their range support. And he manages to dole out a punctured lung, too. Rondus steps up, draws his greatsword, and misses his primary target, but decapitates the goblin behind him. I can live with that. I guess Janos will risk moving up. Okay, good. I wasn't sure if that guy's morale was broken or not. And he'll make an arcing swing, which drops another one of the ambushers. Reinhardt finishes off a skirmisher with a dagger strike, then turns his attention to a second skirmisher. Ooh. And that was Rondus the Elklord decapitating the other skirmisher who just tried to flee from combat. Let's go ahead and start moving some other people up to support Kazarin. And IGOT can finally move into combat as well, which immediately breaks his opponent's morale. And we're pretty much done for the round, so moving into round 4. We've got 1 ambusher fighting back against Kazarin, another one fighting against Janos. Wojtek fires an arrow over Woe's shoulder, finishing off the skirmisher he was facing. And we've got open shots on this other ambusher. Potato puts an arrow through his shoulder. Henry enters combat, finishes off the second-to-last ambusher. And then we'll carefully position him so our archers still have an open line of sight, and Alessandro finishes off the other ambusher. That just leaves us with this 1 skirmisher. And his morale is still... oh, never mind. There we go. With that facial injury, the final goblin's morale is broken. That means he'll try to flee at the end of the turn. But it seems unlikely he'll survive that long. IGOT moves in and claims the final kill. Potato's up to level 10, congratulations. And it looks like Alessandro and Wojtek are tied for MVP with 3 kills each. Nothing significant as far as loot goes, we'll grab it all. In fact, that last stuff is so cheap we won't even bother rearranging our inventory. And now we'll make a quick pit stop back at Neufarn to sell off this goblin loot. And then we'll keep our eyes peeled for that second goblin raiding party. Hey, Retcon Raider here. Today we took the next step towards avenging Casimir's death. Though I suppose he won't be able to truly rest in peace until we've turned the tide and driven back the hordes. Really, I guess I could say the same about Ishizu and King as well, because aside from Burke the Red Spear, every battle brother who's fallen in battle did so while fighting greenskins. Of course, we already know what the immediate future holds. Next episode, we'll be opening up with the Raiders fending off another wave of goblin marauders, as we continue defending Neufarn's borders. Again. After that, we'll either take on another contract, or go hunting for another orc stronghold. After all, we only need to knock over one more stronghold to complete our current ambition. I suppose the ambition should take priority, not only because it will reward us with a unique orc-slaying trinket, but also because it will provide a company-wide morale boost, and we could really use one after losing Casimir. It's bad enough losing a well-established teammate, but the morale hit that comes with it just adds insult to injury. Though, at the very least, we did manage to quickly fill the hole in our reserves with our latest recruit, Eraton the Merciless. Like I said earlier, he's got great stats and great growth potential in his fatigue attribute. I'm just a little concerned about that drunkard trait. I've never actually traveled with a brother who has it, so I don't know what events might come with it. But since he was free, I suppose we can certainly afford to take a chance with him. That leaves us with one more slot on our roster, so I'm still going to be keeping an eye out for one more potential recruit. I've already got a pretty good idea of what I'm looking for. It's just a matter of getting the game's RNG to actually cooperate with me. I guess we'll just have to see how that goes. For now, this is Retcon Raider, signing off. Thanks for watching. Oh, and remember, although I do love playing Battle Brothers, you can find out more about the game by visiting the official website, or the FanRun Wiki. Links are in the description.